Well, yes, indeed. That was Felix Ofulue, the head corporate communications for Ikeja Electric. He joins us in the studios now to shed more light on what's going on there. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chamberlain.
Well, tell us then. We heard some part of what you were saying there. Who are exactly those? Because they use the word picketing, and Labour Union says no, that's not us. What's going on?
Well, if you listen to him carefully, the other man that spoke, he was referring to us. He talked about an agreement and with Ikeja Electric, and he kept saying us. So you will begin to wonder who are we talking about? Who is us in this case? Who are we talking about? If you were talking about coalition of electricity, people that demand electricity, the coalition of civil rights, we never had a meeting with them. The dialogue we had was the union. So you can deduce from what he was saying, when he kept saying us, that they are heavily involved in this picketing activity.
Who are heavily involved?
The Labour. Now, what the Labour unions, you know, so what has happened is, even in the process of the picketing, we also realized that they had
Was it picketing or protest?
It was picketing, because they stopped. It was a disruptive protest. All over our locations, all over our facilities, they shut down, they barricaded the entrances, they prevented staff from going in, and they actually drove the ones in the office out.
Even though Mr. Omona says that he thinks that there was a circular from your management saying members of staff shouldn't stay, that they can stay away if this protest, in his words, continue.
You know, what the management said was, you know, there's a tendency for it to get, because of the kind of people that come in there, that most of them are not actually labor. They are people that they hire for this kind of services. So we didn't want a situation where it will get into some sort of violence. So what we said was, look, if you perceive any semblance of violence in your area, please don't be confrontational. Please just vacate the area.
In other words, you told them not to.
No, we never told them. That's why we kept, in the past couple of days now, we've been saying that everywhere on social media, in traditional media, that we are not on strike. Labour has just prevented us from doing our work and carrying out our distribution of electricity to our customers.
Well, you say Labour, and you say that the words that he spoke there, when he kept on saying us, it looks as though what the voice of Jacob Hand of Esau. But did you engage with those groups directly to find out who exactly they were?
Yes, when I spoke with them outside, unofficially and officially, like from what you saw, they paraded as a coalition of civil rights groups, and then they came up with a 15-point demand. But you could see that from the 15-point demand, they kept harping on disengagement of 400 workers. Rather than, like what I told them, I said, look, all the demands you have and what you're talking about, these things are not peculiar. They are legacy issues and they're national problems. So you can as well decide to picket all of that discourse if those were the issues. But if you noticed from what they were saying and what they kept harping on, recall 400 workers, appealing to the sympathies of Nigeria, telling them that, look, you can't sack Nigerians, you can't sack 400 Nigerians and then people that have mouths to feed. But again, you see, there's some mischief in there, because for a very long time, right from the first time that they came to picket, we specifically stated that they are.
Who came to picket? This Katan group or?
No, the Labour.
That's NUEE.
Yes.
That was when in March.
That was in March. Yes, early March. We kept saying that 400 employees were not disengaged from Ikeja Electric. 229 employees who were deemed to be performing below standards were asked to leave the business. At the time, they were asked to leave the business. The services were no longer required because they were deemed to be performing below required standards. So it was not in any way to 400 people. But I've been amazed, because what has happened is we have over 1,000 union members who went through this same appraisal process, who are still working in the business. The unions have not said anything about those people. They've just been harping on the 229 people that have left, and let me also tell you that there are over 2,400 workers in that business. So over 1,000 labor union members that scaled that appraisal process, and nobody's talking about them.
Mr. Mene, who just left here, says that because he's one of those who were disengaged,
yes,
that there was no such tests on his part. He just got a letter saying he's been disengaged, and he also said that some of them were because the management will think, well, we don't like your face, you use a big car, you're out.
That allegation or claim is far-fetched, if I may say, because one, it's not a witch hunt. You don't want a witch hunt. What you want is, it's a business. You want the best for your business, because what you are positioning yourself to make a statement in the electricity industry. That's why you're there in the first place. What has happened is, there's a strategy which prompted the business to take a relook at the roles of the people, because you're positioning yourself to deliver, to be a provider of choice anywhere energy is available. So what has happened is, we, for the sake of excellence, you took a look at a reassessment of the roles, and then to find a proper fit. That was why there was a competency assessment. There was a competency objective process that was set up at the beginning of the year. There was also a mid-year review, and at the end of the year there was an appraisal. As part of there were different steps of appraisal, but
did they all partake?
To a very large extent, yes. To a very large extent, yes. Now, these appraisal parameters are in line with best practices across the world. These are private organizations we're talking about now. So they partook in the appraisal processes, and some of them were found not to be suitable. And don't forget that the appraisal process also threw up some other very positive things. Now, a lot of people were found to be doing things that they were not properly aligned with, so they had to realign them for proper fit. A number of people were promoted as part of that appraisal test. A number of people the roles were also created in such a way that they had a proper defined career growth. So it wasn't just about disengaging people. There were promotions as part of the appraisal test. There were realignment of career roles as part of the appraisal test. And what I'm saying is, between 2015 and 2016, 603 employees, more than 603 as we speak, because at March it was 603, more than 600 people have been employed as members of staff in our business. Did
Mr. Omona partake in that test?
I should think so, because it's part of HR. That's probably why he left. It's part of the HR process for maybe senior management, may not, but I know it's part of the.
So there were some who did not.
No, I'm not aware that there were some who did not. What I'm saying is that it was a company-wide appraisal process.
If that's the case, then why is it only Ikeja Electric that they seem to be starting this protest of theirs, or picketing?
What you need to look at is the influence of the people that are involved. Now, it may have happened in other areas which I'm not aware, but what I'm saying is that you see when a deputy chairman of a union is part of those affected, I'm sure that you understand the influence and the weight behind it. So you can adduce it to that.
Even though he says that, look, he doesn't feel happy, that people will always ask questions. Could it be that you, senior member in the union, cannot rein in your members? That rubs off negatively on him, he says. So he says, look, I couldn't possibly be involved.
Yes, but we're looking at a situation where you also pull a lot of weight in there, and then the union executive has thrown their weight fully behind you. So in whatever way, in whatever manner, whatever fashion they parade themselves, they're largely behind. The truth is, we have quite some photos of pockets of NLC flags here and there from the picketing.